I guess we're doing this. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a late night episode of Full Circus. You can't tell because it's hopefully going to come out at the regular time as always, but for me, so I usually do these on a Thursday morning or whatever, right? It's not super important, but that's typically when I do the things. Is this episode 6? No, wait. Oh my gosh. That's not important. So anyways, yeah, I usually do these Thursday morning. And I didn't today. It's still Thursday. And yeah, I didn't. So I'm sitting here late at night. I'm just eating my pizza and my popcorn and all the things that I like to have on a nice Thursday night. And then I'm watching some stuff and I'm like, man, I can't remember what it was because it like shook me to the core and made me realize that I haven't done the podcast. Someone said something. I was like, oh, that'd be a funny joke to say on the podcast. I was like, oh yeah, the podcast. Oh my gosh, yeah, the podcast. Why haven't I done that? So immediately, it's only been like 45 seconds. I just literally just turned the mic on and said, hey, how you doing? So that's what it was. That's what I was. Someone said something about. It wasn't a joke. It was like personality test. And I was like, okay, well that's like a chaotic versus law and all the baloney of whatever. I was like, okay, a chaotic neutral is probably a good personality trait for comedy-wise, right? Because you just attack whatever's in sight. You have no allegiance to anything. You just freaking, you're in it for yourself. You just attack. It's just, and in a good or bad way. It's just chaotic neutral. You just cause chaos, right? As opposed to, I don't know a lot about it. I know like laws, honor and whatever that is. Who cares? It's about chaos. But anyways, I was thinking about, the good feel for the show would be chaotic neutral, right? It's kind of, there's no allegiance to anything. If there's a joke to be made, if there's something to attack, we attack. And then that led me to realize that I haven't even done this chaotically neutral show. So we're here now. How are you guys doing? I hope I still have the energy to bring today. I hope I still have the feel. I've never done a night show. It might go a little off the rails, but here we go. Episode 7. Please let it be. It's got to be episode 7, right? Number 5 was Taco Bell. Wait, number 6. Okay. Oh, I gotta know now. See, now I gotta know, and I can't rest until I do know. Hold on, give me 1 second. If only I had somebody that could sing nursery rhymes or something while I look this up, just to keep you entertained. Taco Bell. So, it is. Okay, it's episode 6. Okay, see, great. This is why I looked it up, so I don't look like an idiot later on. Unless that whole little thing did make me look quite foolish. But how do we restart this thing? Anyways, welcome back. Episode 6 of Full Circus. Hope you guys are having a beautiful morning or night or whatever. But what have I been up to? Why did I wait so long? I was back at it. I try to usually wait at least like 5 or 6 minutes until I start talking about the tales of dashing. I accidentally ran over a pigeon. That's really hard to do, by the way. If you somehow ran over a bird, that would be kind of impressive. That's dark. Don't say that. But I did. Too late. Yeah, I've been out dashing. I've been doing my thing. There's not really many stories to tell. Here's the thing. There's not really a lot of stuff to talk about dashing. It's more so the fact of driving. And, you do encounter a lot of people, and you encounter a lot of angry people, especially. Like, the more you drive, the more chances there are to find people that are upset. And people are always in a hurry. They are. That's human nature. I don't know what the personality thing to that would be, but people are just in a hurry. That's just the nature of the game. So something that used to bother me a lot was when you'd be sitting at a green light and then the guy honks behind you, go! And you're like, okay, dude, relax. I'm going. And it's been happening a lot recently. And I've come to realize that I think I'm not as bothered by it anymore. Composure. I'm not as bothered by it Oh, come on. We got it. I'm not as bothered by it anymore as I used to be. Woo! Yeah, so I was just thinking, so they're just honking at me. They keep honking at me. I don't know. I'm just never going. Because the truth is, I know the instinct is to just turn around and freaking, send them a pigeon yourself, right? Flip them the bird. But I've realized that the truth is, if they're honking at me, chances are I'm not paying attention, right? So this honk is really a wake-up call, because I'll be staring off in space. I'll be staring at someone else's traffic light, or I'll just be like it's a tree. I get distracted easily. So I'm just looking around, and 9 times out of 9, I'm not paying attention. So I get that honk, and I've learned, I've kind of found my zen, my zen moment, at least for that situation. So next time someone honks at you, just think, was I? I mean, yes, there might be some douchey people that you're just like half a second, just like, beep, 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 and that's kind of, that's bad to do. That's kind of, that can be frustrating. But most of the time, most people you run into, every time, basically, you're just not going. And, yeah, that's the truth. I'm just never paying attention. And now that's a whole other conversation for why I'm not paying attention, but this is my show, so I get to move on as I please. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on. I've just been, I guess, learning to be a better person. So yeah, that's it. What else can we talk about traffic-wise? Traffic, there's so many things to talk about. The rules of the road are always exciting. My traffic skills are, I could go on about those forever. Like, they call me a vehicular chameleon because I can just freaking blend into traffic so easily. You want to see me merge? You freaking, like, I'm like the freaking, what's it called? The Vitamix or the Ninja. It's a blender, in case you're not up onto your, Fitch. Why am I so all over the place? Am I always? Kitchen utilities. There we go. Come on, baby. Anyways, the point was I'm a good driver. Yeah, so there's so much to talk about. Right, I'm looking at the light right now, and this is actually on point for traffic. My left arm, just my left arm, is like way tanner than my right, because I drive left arm, out the window a little bit. And I noticed this a couple days ago. I was like, holy crap, like, this thing is starting to get a little bit color to it. And while I'm looking all freaking pasty on the right. So I'm trying to drive, like, cross-handed over, like I'm doing some sort of shoulder stretch, like sticking, you know how hard it is to stick your right hand, your whole entire right arm out of the left window and still maintain driving and be able to blend into traffic perfectly as I do? Neither do I. I don't know how hard it is either, because it's pretty easy for me. But anyways, yeah, it's like I don't even know. So if a farmer's tan is like just half of your arms down, and if this is just one arm, then this is like a gardener's tan. I don't know what you would call that. So anyways, that's kind of, I'm gonna say that a lot because I really don't even know what this whole episode might just be about traffic. It might just be about cars. I have no idea, but you can't believe anything I say because I only have one tan arm. It's untrustworthy. If you see a guy, listen, if you walk to the beach and this guy just, like, what does that even mean? How would you even come, like, how would that happen to anybody? One tan arm, it's like he's just wearing, like, he's just one long sleeve and the other's not. That's not trustworthy. That's not trustworthy attire. And if somebody had that, if they developed a tan like that because of that, I wouldn't trust them. There's a lot of things you can't trust people with. That's the truth. There's a lot of things, and there's a lot of characteristics that, and I mean like choices, choices, not things that people just have, that whatever. But attire-wise, choices, fashion, style, things I look at and I say, I know we're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you gotta judge a book by the freaking title, dude. So, things I have hard time trusting, nose rings. If I see anybody with a nose ring, guy or girl, it's just, I automatically just feel, I can't there's some level of I don't know. Mystery, but like in the bad way. But like you're like a magician, but you're only gonna tell me that my car's on fire, or you just deliver a bad news. It's not a magician. Whoever's driving the white sedan. What else? Guys who tuck their this is a real one. This is really deep. It's people who tuck their ears into their hat. I'm not talking like a beanie. I'm like a regular baseball cap. It is. There's no extra level of deceit above that. If you do that, you lie. You're a bad person, like straight up. And I'm not making a joke. There's no way to do that and be a good person. Not even chaotic neutral. You can't get anywhere above. I've tried it. I've looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, this is weird. How do people? Also, how are your ears long enough to get into the hat? That's a different story. But so I tried it once. I was trying. It's like, dang, this maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's a fashion style. I tried it. Looked myself in the mirror, and bad thoughts. Only bad thoughts. So it's not just like I'm trying to judge other people, but sometimes I'll see myself. If I looked like that, I would have severe distaste for myself as a human being. So whoever's doing that, nose ring. Third, cargo pants. Okay, if you have that many pockets, what are you hiding? Can't trust you. That's the way that it is. Those things, you can't trust people. Can't trust people to lie. And I'm not saying, maybe some people have like a twitchy eye and be like, okay, but they might be born like that. You don't know. But this is something that they chose to do. You chose to wear these things. You chose to puncture your face like that, and you chose to tuck your freaking listening crisps into your hat. That's weird. It's weird to me. And I don't mean weird, just weird, but like, if you meet these people, you know. I'm not being crazy here. It's not just a weird Thursday night. I'm serious. I'm still just adjusting this curtain. I think this is in the last episode, but this is who I am. I also tried getting some more acoustic foam to get padded up here, and I just used like tape. And it worked for about 2 days, and I was just walking around down here in the basement, and I hear, I'm like, wait, what the heck? What the crap is that noise? And I'm looking, these things are just peeling up the wall. So we got to figure out a different strategy to incentivize these things to stay up on the wall. But not trustworthy. And on the flip side of that, trust. What could someone possibly wear that would make you trust them? I want you to think about that for a minute. Close your eyes. Imagine the most trustworthy person in your life. What are they wearing? And if maybe everyone in your life betrays you a lot. Think of someone else. Think of someone that you would trust or you think you could trust. For me, it's the owner, the NFL owner, Mark Davis. He's got listen, I don't know the guy. I don't know if he's trustworthy or not, but he's rocking a bowl cut 365. And he's quite the champion. Is he still alive? I have no idea. But he's rocking a bowl cut. And the reason I say a bowl cut is the most trustworthy is because they've really, like, people who wear a bowl cut, they've got nothing else to lose. A bowl cut really is just rock bottom in a sense. It's that little follicle saucepan. If you have to put some sort of kitchenware on your head to shape your hair, then you're there. You're at rock bottom. And they have no reason to lie because they have nothing to gain. Or maybe I guess they have everything to gain. But I just feel like there's some sort of, understanding, I guess, coming from both sides. So I picture a bowl cut. I got someone with a bowl cut. I'm like, okay, you're all right. Like I don't know your whole backstory. I don't know how you ended up like that. But I feel like I can trust you. I feel like there's some sort of soul. There's some sort of connection here. And you wouldn't lie to me. But and I feel bad for people that do have bowl cuts. I don't know how that happens. Bowl cuts are kind of wild because it's a true rock bottom, but you still have hair, and that I don't mind. Like, being bald is not rock bottom. It should be. And I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with being bald. Sometimes that just means the Lord didn't want you to have hair. He just wanted to show more of you to the world. You know what I mean? Stop covering yourself up. So he wanted to let your scalp shine, But I don't think even a bald person would be like, if you gave them the choice, like, would you rather be bald for the rest of your life or have this bowl cut? I've never been bald. I've never asked anyone if they'd like a bowl cut because I feel like I already knew the answer. They would probably 100% say they don't want a bowl cut. And again, this is another exercise. Imagine someone who's bald in your life. Imagine someone who's bald, and think if you were to ask them if they would want a bowl cut. Ask them if they would want Mark Davis's haircut. Would they say yes? Now, if they're a very honest person, I don't know how that works because, they don't have the bowl cut, so maybe they can't be. But I don't know what the level of lying and deceit is for bald people, but they would say no, because nobody wants that. I'm sorry. Listen. I know some people have bowl cuts, but I appreciate you. I don't know why you do this to yourself, but I want you to know that whatever the story is you tell me of how and why you, fashion your hair like that, I'll believe you because I do trust you. But again, nobody would choose that. You have to lose some sort of bet. You have to be punished in some way for that to happen. Like something has to go wrong. Again, no bald guy would want that. And there's nothing wrong with being bald. Some people, it is the way it is. So let me just reiterate that. It's like it can look good. Some bald people can look good, probably. I think they're out there. I'm joking. Bald people are great. They're like magic cue balls. Like the opposite of a magic 8-ball. And you shake it around like, when will my hair grow back? Source is unclear. No. Yeah, so just think about that. Think about that, and maybe it's different for everybody of things that you trust in life, things that you see, and then you could be like, okay, maybe they're all right. Maybe these people are okay. So, returning back to the traffic, there's not much going on in traffic. What do you see? What are things that everybody sees in traffic? You see the road rage. You always see the old people. Why do old people have Porsches all the time? Like, I know they have money and they can afford it, but is that like your big spend? Is that the thing? And also, every single green light they get, they floor it every time. I don't know why. And you could be like, well, maybe he just got it. He's excited. He's not. He just came out of a Panda Express. He didn't. If that's the first thing you do as an old guy, is you save up your money to buy a Porsche and then you eat a Panda Express. I'm getting mixed signals, but he just floors it all the time, and I don't know what that is. Maybe they're just trying to have fun, but I don't know. I know it's supposed to be like a midlife crisis or an end life crisis, or at whatever point you can buy a Porsche, you just get a Porsche. I don't know. I've never had enough money to buy a Porsche. Maybe I would be doing the same thing, but they love to floor it every single time. You would think anytime you ever see an old guy in a Porsche, you would think he just got it. Because it's green, gone, done. You're in his dust. And he might be dust soon. Sorry, I'm looking through my notes. That was dark, but my bad. Sometimes I just autopilot, and it just happens. What else has been going on? Dashing wise, I've been doing Australian accents to a lot of the restaurants that I go to. I would show up and like, yeah, I have an order for Dan L. And Dan they'd bring the order out for Dan, and it's very interesting. Sorry, let me get back to me. It's really interesting because people do listen. They listen a little bit more because they're like, you're Australian, and it happened one time I was going to this pizza place, or is it an Italian restaurant? I don't know. It's all the same thing. This guy, I walk in there. First of all, I've been there many times since I started doing this, and now I feel like I have to keep up the accent, and I'll go back out. I'm like, I'm tired, but we're just going through the motions. Like, oh, here we go, crikey, here we are. And, so I get back in there, and there's a different level of respect for some reason, or maybe this guy's just a really respecting dude. But anyways, he's the only guy, so after I start doing this, He's looking at me in the eyes like, okay, yeah, you got it, man. I got it. Your picture be right there. Boom, boom, boom. And he's like always checking up. He's like, yeah, could be right there. I'm like, okay, thanks. And I'm just like chilling, doing my thing. And that's just what they are. They're like, this guy. I'm not even joking. This guy, I turned on the Australian accent, and I'd been here before. I didn't do the Australian accent. Did not get this kind of service. I And that's why I feel like because as an American with an American accent, you can just kind of slip by. No one notices. So he doesn't know me. So I walk in there with an American accent. It's as if I never even showed up. But I walk in there with an Australian accent. If I come in there with an accent, I don't even know what I'm doing. But now all of a sudden, I'm somebody to this guy. Do you notice me yet, Dad? But so I'm somebody to this guy, and now I can't turn it off, because if I do, we're gonna lose this bonding that we've been having for this long. And I first noticed this when this guy, actually, I'm not even joking, he freaking threw finger guns at me and made eye contact. He's like, "Hey, take it easy." Like he handed me this. First off, he handed me the hottest food of all time. It was just like pizza and lasagna. It was like the devil's urine. We'll go into that later. I mean, not really. Urine's hot by default. If it was Satan, it would be hotter. The end. But so he hands me the hottest thing I've ever felt in my life, and I can't break eye contact because now we have this where I'm the foreign guy, and he's being respectful. I don't want to turn him away, and he's shooting me finger guns. Hey, take it easy, man. And then he's like, "Careful, it's hot. It's a scorcher." A scorcher? And I could feel it, and I didn't know it because I was so mystified by the finger guns that this guy just shot me. Because he's only, he's 65, and you would think he's never met an Australian in a pizza place before. But he shoots me finger guns, and then all of a sudden the magic of the finger guns fades, and all I feel is heat. So I'm like trying to, muffle my screams in American as hard as I can and make sure I only yell in pain as an Australian. Oh, baby I don't know, baby Joey. What would they say? I have no idea. I'm not Australian. But I have bits. If someone is like, "Oh, you're not Australian," I'm like, "No, I'm actually from New Zealand." I'm like, "Oh, what's New Zealand like?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not actually from New Zealand. My father's from New Zealand. That's where the accent comes from." Because they're very similar. I hear that. But anyways, this beautiful old man just shot me the freaking nastiest finger guns of all time in a good way. But I freaking like third-degree burns across all my fingers. So shout out to that guy. And also, maybe that was me to learn my lesson. Maybe that was my punishment for not being Australian. I don't know. But it was the truth. And we bonded. We could have laughed together. But we can't laugh. You know what I'm really bad at? This is a perfect segue. You would think it's planned. What was I just saying? There goes everything. There goes it's late. Laughing is what I'm bad at. Like actually laughing. I can do a little chuckle, a little there, a little here, a little, whatever. But actually having like a deep laugh or reaction to something, it's just not built in me. I mean, there's some things that can break me open, but I've tried. My dad's got a perfect fake laugh. All right? If you've ever talked to my dad and you think, "Hey, I make this guy laugh pretty often," you don't. He's got an amazing fake laugh. I mean it. And I've tried to replicate it, but I can't. You have to use your diaphragm and smile in such a way. And listen, I think a lot of things are funny. I find the humor in so many different things, but I can't make that noise come out of my body, out of my mouth. But that's all. That's really all that noise I just did right there. That's really all I can do. Is that it's that little boom, but nothing continues. I can't do all the air just. You know what if you've ever seen the National Lampoon's, the Christmas movie, when they're cutting open the ham or the turkey or the chicken or whatever it is, and it's completely dry, and the inside just makes that noise. That's what I sound like when I laugh, because all of it is just ripped from me. I have nothing left to give. I have no more sounds to give this world after I've left out my first, and it's over. I've tried to practice this. I go, and it's just gone. I just got nothing left, unless someone really breaks the doors down. But still, I need training on that. It's either listen, I'll do a couple, because I try and do it in some voices or something. But sometimes I just sound like a young Spanish lady crying. Dios mío. or I sound like Patrick. I'm like, oh. But I still can't laugh. I still can't do anything. I'm just trying to create different sounds and tones, but nothing ever really juvenates. What does that word even mean? Juvenate? Juvenate. Let this thing, it's we gotta look it up. Juvenate definition. It's, to make young or youthful again, to restore an original or new state, uplift. Okay, so I used it in the right sense, kinda, but I didn't have an actual definition. Juvenate. Up next on Juvenate. The point is, what are we at? Oh, okay, we're just over 25 minutes. Yeah, the point is, I can't laugh. I'm an inside laugher. I'm also an inside reactor. That's why I hate getting presents. And don't get me wrong, I love getting presents, but I hate opening them in front of the people who gave me them. Because my reaction is not what I'm feeling inside, okay? So if you give me something amazing, right? You give me a freaking 70-inch TV. Now you know what's on my Amazon wish list, by the way, okay? But you give me that, and my thought and the reaction you would expect for giving someone like an $800, $900 TV is to go, what? No way! Oh my gosh! Or something of this sort. Like, obviously that was supposed to sound a little bit fake, but this is what I would sound like. Oh, sick. That's what my reaction would be. That's why I might say, but that's what I would do if no one was around. That's how I'd react. I'd be like, oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome. And because that's all that that's all that I can make come out. But inside, in my heart, I'm like, oh, like my mind's blown. I'm just going wild. But I can't do that. So if you've ever seen me, listen, here's an honest truth. I don't have a bowl cut, but you can trust me. If you have ever seen me react to something that you've given me, a gift, it's fake. Okay? That's the truth. If I've ever gone, whoa! Let me say this real quick. Let me reiterate. It's not fake. I'm trying to best replicate what I'm feeling, but the show that you're seeing is completely forced. Because I might be feeling, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. But what I want to say is, oh, cool. So if you've ever seen me go, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And I'm like, you can see there's a little bit of strain there. It's fake. I'm trying to make everybody, because I don't want them to feel bad. They've given me a gift. A gift? A present. So I want to freaking give you, this is my gift to you. It's a fake reaction. But I want them, you don't want to make someone feel bad about the thing that they've just given you. It's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is amazing, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just not feel that. So I'm an inside reactor. And I don't know how to make that come out. And maybe that's just because, I don't know, maybe that's just because I was told to, hone it in as a child or dial it back. This is psychology. I took psychology in college. It was really only the one class. Well, half a class I left, but I did take it, and that's just because I felt like I had already mastered everything, and I left. But maybe I felt like I was supposed to dial it back a little bit because I was always so spontaneous and out loud, and maybe upon hearing that, when I listened to them saying, hey, don't scream in church. And I internalized that and saying I should dial it back a little bit. And maybe that's why my insides just don't react the same way anymore. Or maybe it's because one time when I was 7 years old and people said, why do you laugh like that? And I said, I don't know. That's a true story. And I don't know why I just remembered that. And I don't even know what I was laughing. I think it was a different laugh. I think it was, you know what I think it was? I think it was me going like this. Completely, I was just like gasping for air. Like, are you okay? Why are you laughing like that? So it wasn't like a diss or anything like that. But who knows, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things to do. So trust people, don't trust people. Again, and you can trust me and you can trust these tips because I did take psychology. You're welcome. So, anyways, it's now midnight. Cheers, baby. It's midnight. This has been Full Circus. I think it's time to close. What time is it? Yeah, we hit the 30-minute mark. Half an hour off the rails. That's a success. I think this is our longest episode to date. And maybe it was rambling. Maybe it was funny. Yes, it was. That's not me doubting it was funny. I'm just trying to remember what I just said because everything I say literally just passes through like Taco Bell and shines on the other way. I could go into a whole bit about what Taco Bell does and what I did yesterday, but it's too late for that. It's probably too early for you. So, God bless. Welcome back to Full Circus. I'm not restarting. I'm just saying, hey, this is whatever it is. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you have a beautiful weekend. That's a clap. That is the sound of flesh smacking together and making juvenate sound. What a young, new, fresh sound, baby. So anyways, thank you so much for listening. We love you. Appreciate you. Laugh, smile. Have yourself a beautiful weekend, you beautiful people. Okay, I'm out. That's the sound of echoes.